Jeez, it's a nice hot summer's day in the UK. Finally, we've been waiting for this to happen. Got myself a Stella, I'm working, and now I'm filming a YouTube video. So, to get into things, this video is going to be about a bit of a sad story, bit of a kind of almost come-up story, in fact. But the reason I'm telling you this story and why you should listen is because it's something that no one talks about, and this story is going to allow you to see maybe bits of yourself in it and how I overcame this. So I'm not just giving you value, you're actually understanding the points in this story and why certain things happen the way they did. So without further ado, I just want to start with the beginning, right? So if you've watched some of my videos, I'm not going to explain my entire backstory in here, but the context you should know is that I have always been an unconfident person. I wouldn't say I suffered with anxiety. I was always an anxious person. I got nervous a lot. I still do. But that led to a lot of really tough times mentally for me. Like in school, I always tried to fit in everywhere. I was trying to become like the popular kid, and I felt alone in a way. I felt like an outsider. I felt like no one wanted to listen to me. And the spotlight was always on someone else. And I used to blame that on certain things like, I don't know, just for me, the other people, it basically just, it brought the worst version out of me that hated everything, including himself. Now, fast forward to my first year of entrepreneurship, I had slowly started to get rid of this. I understood the fact that I couldn't go this way of living, but it was still there. It was never disappear, like it didn't disappear basically, which meant things like this. I started to post content, I started to take sales calls, and I was doing like calls with clients, obviously. Now, you want people to see you in a certain way, and for me, one of the things that I wanted people to see me as is confident, right? That is the person that I wanted to become at the time. And I wanted to be a confident person that on camera, I appeared confident through my sales process and actually being sold to, confident. And when you actually bought in and worked with me, confident, right? I had to fake it. It was genuinely fake it till you make it. So on those sales calls, I would like prep myself beforehand, tell myself this and that, and properly like just put on a mask, basically. Same with content. It led to like the content voice, which I'm sure you guys know about. For example, picking up a camera now, I do not have a content voice. This is how I speak. But when I'd pick up the camera beforehand, I would sit back, I'd be able all stiff, and so this is how, like, shut up. It's dumb. So, not gonna lie, it did get me my first sale. It did get me my first client. It did get people to respect me. I looked at my videos and I thought, wow, like I wish I was this person, because I wasn't at the time. And it worked. It genuinely did. So I was like, okay, cool. I guess fake it till you make it. Fake it till I have the confidence. I later learned about the idea of be, do, have, okay? So what be, do, have is a framework for success, basically. That's the way I'd frame it, because it is genuinely the most simple thing you can do to achieve what you want to achieve. So it starts by finding out who you need to become and what they have. So if you want a Ferrari, for example, you need to actually genuinely be truthful with yourself and say, this version of me currently right now does not have a Ferrari, which means that I am not the person I need to be. Just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean it's because of the money. It's because of the personality traits, the skills that you learn, the experiences that you've actually gone through as well. So you need to understand this guy with a Ferrari or girl. What does his life look like? What do they act like? Like, who are they? And then you can reverse engineer it into that. So that's be. So you be that person. So if this person is confident, you be confident. Do. Second one, as I was explaining earlier, you need to do the things that they have done in order to achieve the results that they have. It's that simple. It genuinely isn't. It cannot be more complicated than that. I promise you. Every time I have followed this step by step and actually not fallen off and actually been disciplined with that person I need to be, I have got to where I wanted to get to. And then the last step, have. You will have it. You will, I promise you. Okay, cool. Now I want to get back into the kind of story. It felt like I was putting on a mask. It genuinely felt like I was Spider-Man or Batman or something when I'd hop on a sales call, make a video, speak to my clients. Like, I had to become this person, which I didn't necessarily actually like, to be honest with you. It wasn't like, you know, this guy was confident, but he necessarily wasn't someone I'd want to be. And I kind of got fed up of that because it drained my energy a lot. Like, imagine having to fake everything, not the lifestyle, but your personality traits, to be able to achieve X, Y, Z result. So once you hop off that sales call, you're now back in you mode. You know, whether that's you're lazy or you don't speak with confidence and you don't have, or you have ums and ahs in your sentences, whatever that looks like for you. Imagine having to do that. It's like acting. It felt like a full-time acting role. And that slowly bit away from me. And eventually I started to get less results because it was actually eating up my mental energy. So I had to look for a solution. Like I had to. I was desperate. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I knew fake it till you make it, and then I'd have it, but no, I was just faking it. And that was it. Like I wasn't making it. I was faking it, but I wasn't making it. So, sorry about that. The wind like pushes the door open and close. I can't really do it. It's hot. I need the door open. So, I learned this off friends. So I solved this problem from friends. Now, it wasn't from advice they have given me. It was from being around them for long enough. So I've gone on multiple different trips, multiple different we've hosted multiple different masterminds with these friends, and that's a lot of time spent with them. I spent 30 days in Bali with two of my greatest friends, Seth and Ruben. That was good. Yeah. And because I spent so much time with them, I got to see how they lived and who they really were, because yeah, we were good friends, but we had never really lived with each other for such a long period of time. Like, think about that, 30 days with practically, I wouldn't say strangers, but just normal friends at the time, right? I got to see how they lived. I got to see the way they acted off camera. I got to see the way they acted when it was time to, for me, put on the mask, but for them, go from chilling, having some food, to now taking a sales call. And guess what? There was no difference. That's like the crazy edit moment. There was no difference. And it wasn't like a big realization, like I saw it happen live, but subconsciously I kind of understood that. Because for me, still at the time, when I picked up my camera compared to them, I got in character, you know? They just was them. So I started to see this, and obviously you are basically a product of your environment, and the people you surround yourself with, you're going to go ahead and do similar things to them. And I started to do it. I started to just be me. Now, here's the problem. I was not equipped to, this Richard here, number one, was not equipped to be confident and cool, number two. That is why he was faking the confidence. So this is the main point of that. The way you show up through your content, on your sales calls, and towards your clients comes from who you are before any of that. So I say this a lot. To build a cool personal brand, you have to be cool. Like, that's it. And I realized that. I was like, cool, all right, nice. So I want to be confident. I'm putting on this mask right now. I don't want to do it anymore. So what's the solution? I just had to become confident. I had to do the work off the camera, off the sales calls. It was behind closed doors. And when I started to do that, obviously that's a bit of like personal development, right? But I thought that I had gone through that phase, maybe my kind of first year, and during school, to be fair, I kind of went through that gym mindset, all that kind of stuff. And I thought, all right, nice. I've got this down. Like, I don't need this. It's continuous, right? We all know that you should never stop learning. So I started to do that. I started to make sure, like, I really, really hold this to my heart now. Anything I tell my clients to do, if I have not done it, basically, if I have not done it, then I'm not giving my clients that thing. It's simply not because I don't trust myself to give them a system that I've built. It's because you need to lead by expectation. In the end of all of this story and all that, it just comes down to, all right, I want to become a leader, and this is how I'm doing it, right? So you need to lead by example. Sorry, I think I said expectation. I don't know what that means. Lead by example. And the only way you can lead by example is actually by doing the fucking shit. The biggest reality check I ever got in my life was around that time. I think Hormozy said it, to be fair, but I don't know where I heard it. It's similar to my other one, to build a cool and exciting and blah 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 business life piece of content, personal brand, who cares? You need to be that person already. You cannot be this idiot who is not confident, who does all the wrong things, or the things that who you want. I can't even put this sentence together because it's that my brain's gone now, because this is fucking, I need you to understand this. I'm going to say it simply now. You need to do the thing and stop faking it. If you want to be more confident on camera, it starts with being confident off camera. I promise you. The content voice that you're trying to remove, get rid of that. Here it is. Now, the end of the story. Now we've gone through this transformation, right? Imagine you who has been struggling with this or a very similar thing. You've gone and applied this advice, right? Now imagine you are the person you need to be. You have the traits that you need to have. You have the skill that you need to have. Let's say it's sales, because I think sales is the easiest one to kind of bring up here. When you hop on that sales call, you no longer need a framework. You no longer need to act or recite these Instagram guru scripts and objection handles, because you are that person. You are the person who's going to make the sale. You are the person who is going to handle their limiting beliefs and their objections. So what need is there to get outside information and rely on anyone else's process but yours? That's the transformation I went through. Now, it's never ending. I am the person I now need to be to make my certain income that I have, run the business that I have, speak to the clients that I have. What my life looks like is what it deserves to look like, basically, because I am that person, right? I've done it. But now I need to become this person. And that's scary, because I've started to kind of uncover what that looks like. And it requires another level of, to all the foundations I built, discipline, kind of the skills that I have, like my actual life in general. The way I speak especially, that's something I'm improving on. As you can see here, I'm not really forcing, this is the best thing that I've done, by the way. I'm not forcing kind of me trying to say or me not trying to say I've had 2 beers now. You can tell. But it's this thing of, once again, who you are off camera is who you are on camera. So my point there, let me just get rid of all of that and you can listen to this. I used to say ums and ahs a lot. I used to speak unconfidently. And that led to retakes of my reels so many times. Well, there you go, I've done it. Then for example, my community calls, people weren't listening to me. When I was speaking to friends, once again, I was still not being listened to or taken as seriously. And that was why my content didn't feel right. That's why I still had a content voice. So what did I do? I worked on the way I spoke to my friends and on my community calls. I had a note saying, do not say you sound like an idiot, or I think you sound like a retard, something like that. And that reminded me every single time to when I wanted to say I would take a pause. My worry is not that I speak slowly or I take long pauses. My worry is that I say because it makes you sound fucking stupid. How old are you? 17. Like you sound like you don't even know your age. So that's the story I wanted to tell you. The transformation of understanding that, yes, fake it till you make it, but at the same time, it gets to a point where you need to understand, okay, I need to become this person in order to have the results that he has. And that's just life. It is fucking tough. You know, I've explained it in a very simple way of, be, do, have, but it's tough. I can just say, oh yeah, but you need to have confidence. Well, have you gone through that process before? You might not even know what it looks like if you're struggling with that. Whatever it is you're dealing with. Okay? That's what I wanted to yap about today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to it. I'm going to keep doing these raw talking head style videos where I just yap for a second. There's no clear structure. I had like 3 bullet points here and just walk through it. I think that's the best way to document. It's the best way to share the insights that I have from the really, really cool shit that I'm building right now. If you don't know, we're trying to scale the company to 6 figures through multiple different ways, and we're kind of undergoing the part now where it's like, all right, which direction do we take with this? All these different types of cool shit, basically. So give us a subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.